阿弥陀佛，
阿弥达巴，
阿弥陀佛，世界各地的莲花
阿
童子们，
弥达巴。
大家早上好，午安，
Good,
晚上吉祥。
good
我是
morning, good
今
afternoon,
天
and good
的
evening
主
to
持
all.
人，莲花姿容
I
助
am
教。
today's host,
我来自台
莲花
湾
自容助
大学
教. I'm
学会，
from 台
现在
湾
是台湾
大院
时间
College.
2024
It
年
is
1
now
月29日，星期五。
t-
欢
the
迎大家
29th
一
of
起
March.
学习。
Today is the 9th of
我
March,
们
and it
前
is
5门课都是三语直播，你可以
warmest
在
welcome
Zoom
to
上
everyone.
选择华语、英语或是
So
印尼语
today we
课
also have
程
three
课
languages.
程结
The
束
lesson will be
之
conducted
后，
in three
我
languages.
们会
You
将
can
这
come on
3
to
语
Zoom
的视频发在直播
and
中，
select
全
the
球
language that you
网
wish
络
to
上
listen
可以
to.
同
And
时
after the
收
lesson,
听
we will
的
be uploading the
YouTube
different
频道。
videos
大家
onto
可以
YouTube so that
在
you can recap the
频
lesson.
道上看到全部课程的重播。
So you can go up to our YouTube
这个
channel
课
and
程
replay all the previous lessons of um all the previous lessons. And today's class will be on chapter 4, what the diseased family needs to know. Lesson 2 is helping the diseased do merits beneficial. So today we again thank the very experienced our very experienced lecturer today, um teacher Wu Zizai, to share his experience with us. And afterwards, we will have a Q&A session. So regardless of whether you are on Zoom or YouTube or Facebook, you feel free to post any questions you have on the chat function. And after today's class, we will invite teacher Wu Zizai to help clarify on any doubts that we may have. So today is the second lesson that teacher Wu Zizai is giving. So some of you may not be familiar with him. So Wu Zizai, teacher Wu Zizai, um, in year 2008, he was the secretary of the sorry, just give me a moment.
职称的证书。所以上一节课伍自在老师精彩的授课之后，大家的回响非常的踊跃。今天我们非常期
Sorry,
待。
so teacher Wu Zizai from 2004 to 2016, he served as a secretary of the Vajrayana Association, TBS Vajrayana Association of Taiwan, and in 2014 he received a Master of Philosophy degree. And in 2017 he passed the examination of the ceremonial services with and in 2018 he received a certificate of ceremonial services master from the which is a national certificate. So right now we are 1 minute away from 8 p.m. when we will start our lesson. So please prepare your writing materials and listen attentively.
好的，欢迎线上所有的上师、教授师、法师，我们
And
准
welcome
备要
all
上课喽。
masters, senior reverends who are online. We are getting ready to start the class.
好的，现在时间已经来到8点整。
Alright, it is now 8 p.m.
是开始。
The class on the etiquette of life starts officially.
合掌。
We'll start now. Let's put our palms together to pay homage to our root lineage guru, Living Buddha Lian Sheng. Pay homage to our past lineage gurus of the Triple School. Pay homage to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, and Dharma protectors of the shrine. We pray for blessings such that today's class will be smooth and fulfilling. Let us form the Padma Kumara mudra and recite the Padma Kumara mantra 7 times. Om Guru Lian Shen Siddhi Hom. 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 Amitabha, our most respected lecturer today, teacher Wu Zizai, Chairman Master Cheng Zhu, Education Director Master Lian Ha, Publicity Director Master Lian Yue, PR Director Master 连家
连飞上师以及
Master 连
线
飞
上的
and
上
Master 连
师，
飞, as well
包
as
括
all
学
masters,
艺、
senior
老师、
reverends,
讲师、
reverends,
主
Dharma
教
instructors,
以
Dharma
及世界各
assistants,
地
and
的莲
all
花朋
fellow
友们，
disciples all over the
大
world
家
online
早上好，午安，
on
晚上
good day
吉
to
祥，
all.
欢迎大家参加今天的课程。
Amidaba everyone.
上
We're
一
most
节
welcome
课，
to the
武自在老师
fourth
帮我们讲
to
解
today's
第
class.
4章第1节，
In the previous
王
class,
者
teacher
家
Wu
属
Zizai
应该做的事。
um
今
talked
天
about
我们要学习
shared on
的
lesson
是
one
第
matters
2 节，
the deceased
为
family
人
should do, and
生
today we'll be
获
going to
得
lesson two,
是否有益。
which is titled is helping the
接
deceased
下
do
来，
merits
让
beneficial.
我们以最热烈的
Right,
掌
so
声
let us
欢
give
迎
our
武
warmest
自在
welcome
老师
to
为
today's
我们
lecturer,
授
teacher Wu
课。
Zizai.
有请武自在老师。
Teacher Wu Zizai, please.
请大家恭敬合掌，
Let us put our palms
敬
together
礼根本传承上
to
师
pay
弟子给
homage
佛，
to our root lineage guru living with our
皈
Sheng,
依佛法僧三宝，并念
the three
诸
jewels,
佛菩萨，
and all
行
Buddhas,
义真实佛
Bodhisattvas,
法金刚。
and TBS Dharma
祈愿加
protectors.
持今天晚上网络直播生命礼仪课程能够
We
顺
pray
利
for blessings such that today our
传
learning
承
journey
佛
may
道
be
法
smooth and fulfilling,
生活中法物弘扬世界各地。尊贵
and
的
for
中
TBS
华民
to be propagated around the world.
莲花城主上师、
Chairman Master Chang Chu,
莲科上师、
Education Director Master Lian
文
Ha,
会上师、公关处
Publicity Director Master Lian
文
Yue,
会上师、
PR Director
网络上
Master
的
Lian Jia,
佛宗法师、讲
as
师、
well as
助教、
all TBS
法
Masters,
界
Senior
世界
Reverends,
各地
Reverends,
全体
Dharma
同
Instructors, Dharma
修
Assistants,
莲
as well as
花
all
宝
fellow disciples
我是
from
武
all
自在，
from all over the world. Good day to everyone.
感谢
I am
各位
I am
大
Wu Zizai,
家上一堂课热烈的
and
参与，
thank you
我也
everyone
希望这个
participation
生活
for
中
your
法
participation, very active
法物
participation.
理解
And I would like to thank
开始
the TBS Online
参
University
与小组，
for the
感
adequate
谢今天
sorry
主持
the
人知柔
preparation of the
感
teaching
谢今天的
materials.
谜文
And I
丰
would like to
富
thank today's host,
感
Zhirong 助
谢
教,
武汉
today's the
乐贤主讲
uh
及
inter
所有目前
Indonesian
伙
interpreter
伴
as well
学员
the interpreters for today.
非常辛苦，非常专业。
Thank you for your hard
今
work.
天的主题是第4章亡者家属须知的
Today we'll
第二
be
节
talking about on
为
chapter 4,
亡
what the
者
diseased
提
family needs
供
to know. Lesson
是
2
否有
is
益？
helping the diseased do merits beneficial.
首先呢，我们先来看一下讲义，
So firstly, let us take a look at the lesson
第2节
materials,
如何利益亡者。
how to
在我
benefit the
们儒家的
diseased.
经典著作《论语》《论语》大家应该都知道是我们的至圣先师孔子他的弟子，然后将孔子的言论记录下来那所做的这个一个最后集结成了一个经典那自古以来我们中国
So
人
since ancient times,
民主传统文化
the Chinese have
大精
placed
神，
much importance on
那这个
filial
大
piety,
精神其实也就是
and the essence of filial
我
piety is to
们
respect
做
one's
生命礼
parents
仪非
and
常
elders.
部分的一个源头。那也就是孝道的部
In
分，
terms of
就是
assisting them in the
谄媚
different
子
ceremonies
女父母
in life.
长辈的意思下一页，
Yep, so the essence of filial piety is to respect one's parents and elders.
在儒家的经典《论语》之中呢，
In the
孝道
Confucian classics, the Analects of
孝
Confucius,
就是 会问一些问题，就好像我们现在
So
哦，
in
很
this
多同学
class,
都会问
in this classics,
或
there are many disciples who ask
回信
Confucius
到中委会，
many questions,
中委会
such
的意
as
思就是师长
what you see now in to Buddha School,
师
where
长
we
啊，
are
在
writing letters
什么
to
时候啊，
Grandmaster to ask
这
his
个经
guidance
典
on different
就是这
matters.
样来的，这个经典就是这样来的，
So this is how
乃至于
classics
我
come
想
about. This is how sutras
我
come
们也
about.
是很多
As for Buddhist
释迦牟尼佛他
sutras,
的弟子问问题，是因为
they are
释迦牟尼
also
佛
compiled based
他
on
问的
the questions that Shakyamuni Buddha's disciples had,
那
and they clarified with
孔
Shakyamuni
子
Buddha.
就问孔子说什么是
So
义？
in the Confucian
然
classics,
后
a disciple
孔
asked
子就回答
Confucius about filial
他说
piety,
呢，
and then
孝
Confucius
义
replied, "When your
这个
parents
孝
are
就是
alive,
义理，
serve them according
敬
to
神，
rituals.
好，
When they die, bury them
生
according to rituals, and worship them according to
老，
rituals."
其实病、死还有奠祭，就是祭拜都要有礼节。白话文解释就是这样，就是父母长辈在世的时候，应
So
该以孝礼来
the
侍奉。
interpretation of this
如
is
果自
when
己
parents or
已
elders
逝
are
世，
alive, we should serve them with filial
那我
piety,
们
and when they
就
pass
应
away,
该以礼来祭祀安葬，
we should bury them and
这
pay
就
respect to
是
them according to
孝义的
rituals.
精神。
And this is hence the spirit of filial piety.
那现在来根据这个讲义啊，来讲一
And
点
according
分享一点
to
一些
today's
心得，就是
materials,
我们从这里可以看出，
just
其实自古以来啊，
an elaboration.
就
So
算
since
是
the
这种
ancient,
我
since
们
the
现代人叫生命
ancient
礼，
times,
以前呢就叫做
we
孝
have
礼，
placed many
包括
much importance on the different rituals we
那
have in our that we meet in our
现在
lives.
的这个在古代里面呢，下一页啊，在古代里面呢，我们会看到那个墓穴、墓室，就是人往生之后，
So
然后
since ancient
他们
times,
会在往生，以前都是土葬哦，他们会在他的墓室
in the past, usually
刻上很多的壁画，画上很多的壁画。
usually
这个在汉代
when
就
people
有
pass away, they are buried, and in their tombs there are
那
many mural paintings. And this is since the Han
我没
Dynasty.
有办法呈现，就是我一个汉代墓室东王公跟西王母的神像的壁画哈。
Just a
这个
moment, because we're trying to
其实
pull out a
在汉代的
picture
墓室里
of
面，
a
你
mural
可以
painting.
看到
So actually,
花童
since the uh
的
Han
壁画
Dynasty,
就在东汉山东的叫做祁南
uh
祁南墓里面。那在1954年的时候，山东的祁南的北寨村就发现了一座东汉
so
画像
the
石
earliest
墓。
tomb with there was actually a
这个石墓为什么
tomb
叫
with a
东
mural
汉
painting of Padma
它
Kumara,
的那个墓
and it
室
was in the Eastern Han Dynasty.
8个角，八角立柱就是
Yep.
有
So
8
what is
个
so special about this tomb?
那在
So
它那个柱子里面
this tomb was
就刻
discovered
上
in
很
Beizai
多
village,
非常
Yinan,
明
Shandong
显的
province. And in this tomb, at the top of
所以
the
那个
south
中
and
间
north
呢
sides of the octagonal
有带相光
columns in the
相光是
tomb,
什么？是我
there
们
were
一
two
般
standing
所谓的
statues with
佛教里面
halos of light were
的佛菩萨
two standing
所
statues
呈
with
现的
halos of light were depicted in the
那个画
line engraving crustwork.
就叫做相光，立像站起来，然后那个相光呢是专属
So the
佛
two statues were
像，就
standing.
是
So
16
this halo
头
of
上有一个人，后面有
these
相光，
halos of
表示
light
他是神圣的，他不是一般人。
so the
现在
these halos of light are
有一
usually
篇叫
when they are
做
in artwork they
圣
usually
的
depict
圣母玛利亚或者是
people
天使或耶稣基督，
um
是不是后面都有一个光，
holy
像弥
people.
撒一样？
It is similar to these halos are
其
similar
实
to the light
这
of
个
a
就表示
light
说
of
在
Buddha.
汉代那个时候啊，
So what does this mean? So this means that
在墓室里
when
面
in
其实
during the
有
Han
东
Dynasty,
王公跟西王母。东王公其实就是
so
东王公就是跟西王母其实是道教的神仙，就是
so some of the tombs in the Han Dynasty, they have some to they have the two deity Taoist deities, the Duke of the East and the Twin Mother of the West. And there are and these tombs also have certain symbols of sorry certain Buddhism symbols, such as the Padma Kumara mirror painting mentioned earlier.
就莲花童子啊，其实是在非常早期的时候就有。
And so this means that actually in the uh there was the existence of Padma Kumara since the ancient times. So you can see in this picture.
现在我们现在画面上看到的这个这个就是西王母在那个墓穴石壁墓穴的一个
So this is uh this is a picture of Si Wang, I think a wall painting of Si Wang Mu, which is the Queen Mother of the West. So we see here is
那个两个童子
these four columns.
相光童子
You can see at the top there is two statues with halos of light.
好，来好，那我们接下来讲2.2超度
All right, let's move on to the next point.
的功德
The merits and Dharma benefits of liberation.
描述众生面临死亡及刚死亡的时候的情境啊，层次分明，展现出神识脱离肉体后啊，每7天会变化一次，那佛教度化有情的目的啊，本来就是要让众生顿然知晓世间的幻象，从而认取清净自性。
So the main The main purpose of liberation through Dharma is to enable sentient beings to realize the illusions in this world such that they can attain their pure nature, letting go of their afflictions to transcend suffering. People often think that death is a permanent end to their lives. This is what we think, this is what we believe. Yeah, so people often think that death is a permanent end to their lives. However, Buddha believed that the essence of life is non-existence and non-destruction, neither arising or perishing, and that the path of ultimate liberation is achieved by attaining the nirvana through the practice of Dharma. Otherwise, life would be a never-ending cycle of rebirth in the 6 realms. Next slide, please. The significance of death in Buddhist scriptures. So, actually in Buddhism, death is a very common topic. Actually, in religion, death is a quite common topic in religion. So, the meaning of the Buddhist practice of liberating a disease is at the most important moment when their present life is coming to an end and their next life is beginning, the disease is given the opportunity to hear the right Dharma, have the right mindfulness, and hence be liberated through Dharma. So this we are talking about the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So this is a very famous book in Tibetan Buddhism, and it talks about death. It describes the different stages of death and after death. It explains very clearly. It really describes the circumstances at different stages experienced by sentient beings when they are on the verge of death, as well as moments just after death. It shows that after the consciousness has left the body, it will change every 7 days and will wander for a total of 49 days. So during this period of time, if they are able to receive guidance from their Vajra master or any great virtuous teachers towards liberation, they can be guided through sound or verbal instructions away from the karmic forces linked to rebirth in the sixth realms,
这里讲的就是这
and
个
towards rebirth in the radiant pure
一
land.
定要，人家如果问我们说，那你们佛教一直讲这个这么重视
So this is
涅槃生
evidence
死，
provided in
到底
the
中国的
sutras in the
儒释是
scriptures.
什么？
So
因为
many
外
people may
国
ask us,
为什么可能对这个不太清楚？这时
did
候
Buddha actually talk
必须
about
要
this?
跟他
Talking about this,
释迦牟尼
did
我们有
Buddha
学
actually
过，
talk about this?
让我们
And so
可以
we can use this as a source
面对家属。那家属有
and
时候
as
他们在
evidence when we
求
interact with
心理
the
上
family members of
说，那
the
佛教
deceased.
着重
So
什么？
if they ask you certain
我们
questions
说
such as this, does
在西
Buddhism,
藏
what kind of evidence
有
does
个说
Buddhism
法，
have?
我们就这样回答，就是
When it
佛
comes
陀
to
在
this
往生的时候，在
these
779
matters,
天
then
之
so we
内，
can tell them that
当
these
有
information are
有
actually
在西
all
藏
found in
这个
the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
讲得
So
很清楚，就这样
yep, so in this book it actually
当然
states the different
在西
stages
藏
that the soul
讲
has
是就这
the
两个，
soul will go through
这
every
个
7th day after their death.
另
So
外
we also have
我们
the
说法
Kisigaba Sutra who also talks about that such
若遇
matters.
国难、贼难、父母兄弟
So in
和尚
this
大舍离，
in the
7
sutra, the Buddha expounds about
及
Brahma
3、
Jala
7、
Sutra.
4、5、7
Chapter
日
7
乃至
of
70
this
日，
sutra also instructs,
因
in
佛
case of
当下
illness,
因缘
national
见
calamities,
在
bandits, and on the
佛
day of the
这
death
个
of
上
one's
会有
parents, brothers,
有
Acharya
7
monks,
日
as well as on the 21st,
才
28th,
49
35th, and
天，
49th day
要
after,
多的
the Mahayana
回向
sutras and precepts
功德
should be
回向
preached.
及忏悔孝敬，
And so
那
this
以
means that
获得救度而往生善
um,
处。
relatives should recite as many Mahayana sutras as possible within 49 days of the deceased passing, such that merits can be dedicated to the
最重
deceased
要的当
for
然
their
是
repentance and
到
elimination of
世尊的
karmic
法
hindrances,
真的
or
会
for their liberation and rebirth in
非
a
常
good
根
place.
本上是
So for
大
True
概
Buddha
80%
School
会
disciples,
做最重要的
what
地
we
方，
do in addition
这
is
个
that
我
we
们
send a message
好
to
提醒
Grandmaster to
帮助
Seattle
家属的
to
一起助念，
so
使
that
他们在
Grandmaster
往
can help
生以前
receive and liberate the
赶紧往
deceased.
生善处，那他可以到西方极乐世界去。那接下来，第3
So
个
after
课
that, we
表
will help
就是
with
我们现
chanting
在
so that
今
the
天的主题要讲的，
uh
就是4
help
次
with chanting
复兴
after the disease has passed,
要怎么做功课。
so that
这个
the
是
disease can be rebirthed
上个
in
月我
Pure Land.
要讲的。
And then this part is
这里是
after
1日、3、7日、5、7日，其实
after
13天之内，并不是
chant
说
the chanting.
要那一天
So now we're talking about the
它是
within the 49 days what you
像
should do.
6、7或2、7、3、7那一天才做才有效，不是这个意思。
So this doesn't mean that
那么你可以，因为它大概
so
一
you
个
can
月会有
do
一个变化，这个跟道教讲的差不多。道教也是
okay. So as
觉得要
the
4天，
soul
有人要
continue
10天才可以。
changes,
那
the soul will
反
go
正
sorry the
在这个
consciousness
过
will go
程
through a
这个
different
这个
state
变化当中，有
every 7
开
days.
始能
So
够做功德，
within these 49 days, if the family members are able to
这是
do
最重要的
meritorious deeds
要
and
听的，
dedicate them
听
to
也是
dedicate the
听
merits to the
的，
deceased,
不然人家说你讲就讲，照本宣科。那你如果说我们一直
then the
推荐
deceased will get
西藏
the
法华
benefit.
经、佛说梵语、
So this is all written in the
地藏经、
sutras,
本愿经、
the Tibetan
大
Book
乘
of the
经、
Dead,
阿弥陀经、地藏
the
经，
Braha
都
Jala Sutra, as well as the
告诉我们
Kasigaba
往生
Sutra,
之
as well
后
as the Amitabha
佛陀
Sutra.
的弟子要做什么事的一个
They
指
have
示。
these sutras all have
那到
stated
现
that
在
have reminded what the family members should do in order to benefit the
在地
deceased.
藏本愿经里面非常明确的
So
讲，
in the Sutra of the fundamental
要
vows
留
of
下
Kasigaba
如果
Bodhisattva, or
这
the
个人生
Kasigaba
死之后
Sutra,
7日内
this sutra clearly stated that
一个人能使是诸众生有离而去，
if many
不
meritorious
生
deeds
不
can be
灭，众
performed
生
by the
皆
family
有
on behalf of the deceased within 49 days after the death of the
一样，
deceased, then the
是
deceased
诸
will
众
be
生
able to
能
live
受生
the
在
evil
七
realms
七日
forever,
内， 7日之内
attain
这个
rebirth
7
in
日之
the
间，
realms of
做
humans
事
and
之后
heavenly
明
beings
确，
and experience
那
excellent and
这个
wonderful happiness.
过世之后
The living
他
members will themselves
若是有
receive
对的，
immeasurable
能
benefits.
千百岁中无解脱日；若是无间对，
And
能
throughout
以
the 49
千
days,
多
in
亿
every
日
thought, the
无
deceased
解
who
脱
has
日。
not yet undergone
这讲的
rebirth
是
hopes that their
第
family
3
will
讲的就是
generate merits to
要
help
讲的是
liberate the
第
deceased.
49天之内，
After the 49th day, the deceased will
我
undergo
讲
the
一下
ripened effects of according to their karma.
师命
And if they are wrongdoers, they will pass through hundreds of thousands of years without a day of release. And if their offense includes the five grave transgression that lead to incessant torments, he will fall into the great hell for a long time and undergo manifold sufferings. So the Kisgaba Sutra also points out that if family members extensively perform merits and make offerings to the three jewels within the 49th day by the sacred power of the three jewels, the disease will be able to reduce their sins and increase their blessings. By the power of these blessings, they will be able to enjoy great happiness in the realms of humans and heavenly beings. So this is the benefit of dedicating merits to the deceased. And family members who practice meritorious deeds on behalf of the deceased will also receive immeasurable blessings because of their filial piety and their wish to perform meritorious deeds. So this is to say that even though family members are helping the deceased to do all these things, they themselves will also gain merit. So the Kistigaba Sutra also states that when the deceased is in the Badu state, they are constantly hoping that their family members and relatives will perform offerings to the three jewels on their behalf in order to accumulate blessings that will help in liberation of the disease. So what do we mean by being in the Badu state? So it means that the disease has just passed but has not been reborn in another state. So it is in kind of an intermediate situation after death and before the start of the next life. So during this period, they hope that the family members will help them do more meritorious deeds. So if family members fail to perform meritorious deeds on behalf of the deceased during the 49 days, the deceased will be subjected to karmic forces according to their own karma after the 49 days have passed. So why do we keep talking about these 49 days? So it means that if you fail to perform meritorious deeds on behalf of the deceased during these 49 days, the disease will then be subjected to karmic forces. So this is why we place a lot of importance on these 49 days after the death. So if the disease are blessed with merits, they will be reborn as humans or heavenly beings. If they have committed transgression, they will be reborn in the three lower realms and will not be liberated from these realms for thousands of years. Worse still, if they have committed the five grave transgression, they will fall into the great hell, experiencing incessant suffering for a long time without knowing when they will be liberated. So now we talk about the aim of Bardo deliverance. In praying for blessings for the deceased, the Sangha can be invited to perform recitation of sutras and Buddha's name, repentance ceremonies, Bardo deliverance, and other Dharma rituals. Family members can also make offerings to the three jewels and give alms to the poor and sick with utmost sincerity and respect. Through these meritorious deeds, a divine connection with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas' compassionate vows is formed, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will call upon the deceased vital body to the shrine to listen to the Dharma, such that the deceased can realize the truth of Buddha Dharma, let go of the attachments they had when they were alive, and be reborn in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. So this is why we have to do meritorious deeds on behalf of the disease. So this is a story about Venerable Moggallana rescuing his mother. So this was actually documented in the Sutra of the Ulambana. So what happened was Venerable Moggallana, one of the 10 great disciples of the Buddha, observed with his supernatural powers that his mother was suffering in the hungry ghost realm due to the karmic entanglements from her past life. So the Venerable felt deep sadness upon witnessing this and first used his supernatural powers to offer food to his mother. However, as the food reached her mouth, it turned into ashes. So even Venerable Moggallana, who was renowned for his supernatural abilities, he was number one in supernatural abilities, he found himself helpless in this situation. So he reported this matter to Buddha and requested guidance on how to relieve his mother's suffering.
他自己神通那么大，还没有办法能
So
够
so despite having such great supernatural
神
abilities,
通
Venerable Moggallana was still unable to save
失
his
败，
mother in this situation. So what should he do? Let us go to the
释迦
next
牟尼
slide.
佛啊，就告诉
So Shakyamuni
这个
Buddha
受
told
害
the
者
Venerable,
亲的罪障啊，深重
this
的
is
罪障，
because
哦，
this is due to the
不可
severity
原谅，
of his mother's karmic offenses.
非以尊者一人之力救度，
Hence, it will not be possible to liberate
就是
her
救度
solely
者只
through
是
the
愿意就可以搞定，
Venerables' efforts. So,
是释迦牟尼佛跟
Shakyamuni
这些
Buddha
上师
told Venerable Moggallana that this
一
is not
样
something that you
每
can solve
天
alone
举
with
办
your
7
supernatural
日
abilities.
5日，
And to rescue his
那
mother, it was
一天一
necessary to
次， 1000日死，
um,
就是
offer
10次
various
今天哦，
exquisite
供
foods
这个
and
寺庙
drinks,
的
as
僧
well
众
as
种种
bedding
费用
and
哦，
other
10次
necessities on the
到
15th
10
day
个
of the
庙
seventh lunar month.
很
And this
久
is during an
哦，不可行
Uposatha day.
哦，然后床敷等等
And
哦，就是好东西啊哦，除了吃的东西，
so
还
many,
有
many offerings
行住坐用，你这些好的
um,
东西呢哦，
to
要来
many, many
招呼
offerings
然
to
后来
eat and
供
to
养
use
十方的圣人
for
圣女
as
圣众
so
圣人哦，
items to eat and to use
每
as
到要
offerings.
做法会哦，找很多的圣者来，然后供养他们，
And these
下一个
offerings are to be presented to the monastic assembly or the
邀请
sangha
僧
of
人
all 10,
来
10
诵经闻
directions.
修，
So
使
then
得圣
invite
众
the sangha to
亲
chant
自
sutras
来
and cultivate
共修供
together.
养，
And it's only through
这样
gathering the
使得
pure,
寺庙
untainted, and
成
collective
为
power of the
大家
sangha's cultivation
积极
can one
来
resolve
奉
the
愿
situation his
遵
mother was
遵
in.
其佛陀的教导而行佛事，最后呢，
Thereafter,
请僧众
Venerable
多加
Moggallana
回向
followed
利益
the
哦，所以
Buddha's
说
instructions, and
回
his mother was
回愿
eventually
得菩
liberated
萨
from
保
the
佑，
hungry ghost realm.
然后就是
So
找
this
了很多的出家人
So this is so
当然这
so
大家相信
Venerable
的大家都不
Moggallana
忘记了，
followed the
就
Buddha's
供养
instruction,
有
and
功德
he
有
invited many
有
sangha
道德有崇高的僧众，他们一起来共修，所以一个人的力量
to
不够，
chant
他就
sutras
找
and
很多
cultivate
很多的人来
together.
帮忙。
So
那
since
他一
his
天呢来
power
10
alone
次，
was
所
not
以
enough, he had to gather many
当
many
天呢就
sanghas
越多人来共修，他的
to
力
do
量
so
就越大。
together.
这
So
些
from this we can
这
learn
是
that
我们
if
一个
many
念，也可以
people
让
come
大家
together
这
to
个
chant,
找出家人
the
呢，不要
power
一念
generated will be
说
stronger.
我自己念哦，一个人念也可以，他不是这个意思，他是说你一个人的力量没有那么大，你要多找几个。
So
好，这
yep,
个是
so
《盂兰盆经》里面讲的这个。那依其经文所说啊，家眷人等
so
为亡
according
者行
to
善业，做功德，
Buddhist
实在是对亡
scriptures,
者莫大的裨益。
engaging
这个
in
时候哦，
virtuous
要赶
deeds
快
and
把家人
accumulating
找
merits
同
by
修。
family members on behalf
那
of
现
the
在要供
deceased
养
is indeed of great benefit to
那
the
早
deceased.
上呢，
So
念
many
经
times,
哦，那 做功
family
德，
members come and ask me, what should I
很大的
do?
功德嘛哦，做佛事。
So I will just
所以每
advise
次
them
念
to
经
recite
早上
sutras, to
都
recite
会很
the
大，
Krishtagava
有各种
uh,
拜忏，
sutra,
我们叫
and
七
also
教
to
忏，
perform the
就是以
7
下为
weeks morning
以下
rituals,
为
and also to perform several Buddhist rituals.
那在地藏
Okay,
菩
so
萨
next slide.
天经又讲，若有
So in the
善男子
Krishtagava
再
Sutra,
生不修
it
善
also
业，
again
皆造罪
state
业。
that
这
if
个
there
时
are
候
men and
愿
women who
行
did
菩
not
萨
cultivate good
当
deeds
知
and committed
一切有情
numerous
事，现
wrongdoings
受
while they were
而
alive,
乃有益，六分功德，生者之力。
and after their life ends,
这句
their
话的意
family
思就是说，
members, young and old, perform various
如果
meritorious acts to benefit all
他
beings. Out
一
of the
个
7 parts of merit
人，他
earned from these
他在
actions,
生当
one
中有
part
幸
is
的福
received by
报，
the deceased, and the remaining 6 parts benefit the living
是有
relative
坏处，
themselves.
但是啊，他往生的时候很有福报，或是
So,
有机会，
if there is
他的眷属啊，大家都愿意来为他来做功德，那做
so
功
if
德
the
是
disease
上
when he
师
was
父啊，
alive
这个亡者啊，
he did not practice
他的诸
any
佛菩萨这
he did not do
7
any
道，
meritorious
他呢，
deeds.
这个亡者就
But
会
after he's
以
passed,
身之力
he had
来
the
做功德，
his family
这个
come
现
together to
今
help him recite
这
sutras.
个亡者
He
他
will
就
gain one part of
6分
the
功德，
one out of
就是
7 of
就
the
是
merits,
生的人他自
and
己会得到利益，
the living relatives will
这
get
个是
6
这
out
是
of 7
做
of
功
the
德的
merit.
一个比例。 例分配。那倘若有人
So this
被
is
别人收
kind of a
受
division of the
不到
merits.
善恶，这个人过世以后其大小眷属替他造福德利益。下一页。
So
好，就刚刚讲的意思了那恭请呢佛门僧众来诵
so
经念经，
yeah, so respectfully
用
invite the
七封
Sangha
咒
to recite
念七
sutras
次，七封咒
and the
就是说
Buddha's
这一
name
生只能够得到一
and
次
perform offerings to all
6封
Buddhas
咒
as well as
呢
other sacred
归七
rituals.
眷属。
So out of the
所以
seven parts of the merit
有时候我们
generated, the deceased receive only one part, while the remaining six parts of the merit benefit the family.
所以这是名扬。
From this, it can be seen
当
that
中名扬两个
by
字是
fulfilling filial piety
亡者
duties
跟
and
生者
generating
都
virtuous
得到
causes for the
同等
deceased,
的
one will
福德。
also
当
receive
中对
tangible
希望
blessings and
亲
benefits.
友
So
家属等
actually,
向
these
引
benefit
为
both the
亲
living and the
亡人
deceased.
为自己的亡人广造功德善因，于自身也会得到无形的利益福报。就是虽然这个家属虽然
So
造
by
福德利益，
generating
但
virtuous
是
causes
会
for the
影响
deceased,
到你是长寿
the
的
family
人，
members will
希
also
望可以
receive
得到
intangible blessings and benefits because they are fulfilling their filial piety duties
接
as
下来
well.
讲的就是说
So
皈依
after
经论。那基尊呢，
next,
就是以
so previously we
大
have
悲咒
discussed what was
度
in the
过
Buddhist
生死的大海
scriptures,
众生。
and then right now we'll be
那世尊
talking
借由
about
无
what
上义理，配合他自己的经验
Grandmaster
来
has written in
阐
his
述
book, the
佛经里面的意义。
written in his
所以度
books.
过生死的大海，
So based on his own experience, Grandmaster has
刚刚讲的这
written
些
some of this experience in his books
这些知
as
识
well.
这些理念写成了《度过生死的大海》这一本书。所以
So Grandmaster has
代
really
表
taken the
所有经
theory that
典
is in the
都
sutras and
是
scriptures
超界
and written them in his book,
度人生
Crossing the Ocean
不
of
能
Life and Death.
那只有它的秘密法义在其中，所以因
So
此虚有其表，
Grandmaster
实是
mentioned that the authentic
所以
Bardo
他解
deliverance
释讲
indeed
大
has
悲咒
his
的
has
这里面
its
是
secret and mysterious Dharma within it.
行密瑜
It
伽
is by no
跟
means merely a
上
superficial ritual.
也就是
It
说
involves
修
action
行
tantra,
是透
performance
过这些
tantra, yoga
是
tantra, and
透
highest
过
yoga
两
tantra.
个
So this is
在
to say
实
that
证
if
的意
we
义。
do a Buddhist
第
ritual,
一个意义就是
or
这
a
个
Bardo
图
deliverance
上比较
ritual,
显
there
大
are
家可以看到的那
there are
行
four
密就是
different
我们在做
benefits.
的瑜伽密呢，就是
So
无上密是更高
action
层次
tantra,
的
performance tantra, yoga
这个知
tantra,
识
and
得到的意义。
highest yoga tantra.
下一页。
Yeah, so action tantra principally
这里特别
emphasizes on
说
external
我们
action.
习惯
Performance
的
tantra places equal emphasis on both internal and external
跟佛门
actions,
的除了刚刚
and
讲
so
的
on.
佛事里面还有一个就是我们要做功德。那这功德里面它的重
So
点，我们就会常常跟家属讲说，我们要做功德坛。为什么呢？因为
so
我
we
们要
often
希望，
tell
假设我们今天要做的是
family
大型
members
佛
that
坛，
we
这
need
个
to
功德
do
坛，因为
uh,
华人的
a
社会
marriage ceremony.
里面有一种习惯，就是说，这个亡者他本身呢，
So
他
because
就
this
会
is
生病，然后呢，家属就会所有
so
的亲友
usually
会
in
共同，
the
那这时候我
uh
们传统上就会讲说，因为他是生病然后往
so
生
if we
到我们
come
的这
across
边，
cases
那么我们就
such as
要
many
在
cases are
这
like
里
this, where the deceased passed away because of
建立
illness,
生活的智慧，
so because of
这个
sickness, so
这里
we will in these cases we will adopt doing the
那到底
medicine
法会
Buddha
是什么呢？就是首
repentance
先我们先招请
ceremony.
佛菩萨，那主尊当然就是佛，我
So
们现在以主尊
in
为
these
为主
ceremonies, we
是
first have to
先招请
invoke
佛菩
the
萨那
main
要请
deity,
佛下降。那密宗来讲就
which
是
is the
金刚护法，
medicine
佛
Buddha,
教也有金刚护法，空教
as
也
well
有
as
耶稣
the
佛。
Dharma protectors. In
接下
Vajrayana, we
来
also
就会
invoke Dharma
招
protectors.
请被超度的中阴身。这时候因为我们佛菩萨
And then
下
next
降，
we have
所以
to
很多人
um
被摄招还在中阴身的这个亡者，
invoke
然
the
后呢
disease that is
供
in
养
Bado
诸佛菩
state.
萨，
Because
那
we have
这
already
个
invoked the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, it will
做
be easy to
这两
invoke the
点
the, the
下
disease
一页口这个
who is in Bado
所
state.
有的这个华人的社会大概大家都知道就是放蒙山其实都同样意思就是招请
Um,
佛菩萨下降。那除了招请这个亡者中医生以外，还招请他的累世的冤亲债主，甚至
so apart
招
from
请他们
invoking the Buddhas,
之前
Bodhisattvas, as well as
亡者他们
invoking
这
the
些
disease, we also
相关
invoke
的，这样子
we
的
also
时候，
invite
家属就会
the
感觉说，原来
the ancestors of the
他是把
deceased.
自己
So we have to provide such an answer for the family members if they ask, so that they are aware of whatever we are doing during the ritual, the Buddhist ritual. So most importantly, the ritual is best presided over by an enlightened master who can expound the truth of liberation to the invoked Bado being.
那中医生来了要干什么？不是给他东西吃而已啦，还要帮他开示，
So
让他能够身心解脱。
so once we
所以
invoke
要开示
the
的
Bado
观念
being, it's not just to
这个是这个
we don't just offer
传授神
we don't
法、
just
神圣之法、关心
offer items to the Bado being. We also have to make sure that the disease in the Bado
平
state
等的佛理、关心
receives
不幸、关心
Dharma teachings.
关心无常。
Yep, so
关心
these
不亡。
teachings focus on the right understanding of liberation, such as contemplating the impurity of the body, recognizing the sensations as
没有
suffering,
执着，
understanding the impermanence of the mind, and realizing the
就是
absence of
说
self
以
in
不
all
离
phenomena.
无我的这个道理，使听法的中阴身那听法的中阴身，它
So
是指
through
上
listening
师
to these teachings
对
of suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and
他
non-existence
针
of
对
self,
之后，
the Bado beings, as
他
well
才
as
知道
the
这个中阴
spiritual
身
beings
原来真的有
that
这
were
么有
invoked
意思，
can sever
这么
the
关
three
系界，
fetters of
这么
attachment,
需要，那这时候他就可以
uh,
听这
which
个
is the
圣
attachment and
人
belief
有
in
这
the
么
self,
开悟的
doubt and
真无上性，
skepticism regarding the Dharma, attachments to
这个
superstitious, unbeneficial religious
这个
rituals, taboos,
正
or
量的
precepts.
正量的上师或法师，
So when the
开示
living family members
然
are
后
there, they are
在
also
这个
listening to
过程
such
当中，中间
teachings and they
有接
recognize
受
that there is actually
这什
another
么叫就是他接受
another
自己
realm
的王者
that
内在的
exists
边际
apart
上
from the
的
human realm.
天灵，那大家因此
So
其实可以
these teachings will
在
benefit the living as
尸
well.
鬼当场，除了王者以外，他旁边跟他一起来，或者
So
跟
apart
一起
from
来
the
的
disease, if they have
鬼神众，
apart
都
from the
要
disease
三
who
分
have come to attend the
的
ceremony,
进
any
取见是
spiritual beings that have
让自
affinity
己
with
啊
the
多
disease will also come,
还有
and
进
hence they
取
also
见
listen to these teachings and gain
没有进去的意
benefits
思，
from these
而
teachings.
且进取见就是犯戒啦之类的这个进取执着取贪婪执着下一页。好，那这样一个有正量的上师呢，
So
要为中阴身开示佛陀
so such
还相
an
菩提之道，
enlightened
这是般若道
master
的实相。
should
那就是说
elucidate
我
and
们常
expound
常
upon the path
看
to
到
enlightenment as
都在
transmitted by the Buddha.
我们要跟
And this is the ultimate
要跟
essence of
师父中央下
prajna
去
for reaching the other
好像
shore.
好像念念经比一比就好，不是的。
So we often
上
see
师他本身的正量，他要对
a
打坐
master
这个中阴身
sitting in the middle. So
行教
this
化，
master not just leads the
就是我们讲说般若道
chanting session, but
禅
this
智
master
慧，
will
然
also
后
have to
还是慢
expound
慢针对
on the
善根基，因为中阴身还有分上下根
path to
有
enlightenment
四
as
根
transmitted by the Buddha.
根据他的那个根气对上阴身的根气以及鬼神众、护法众而说如果
And
能当
these
下
teachings are
进入般若
specifically
中阴
taught
身， 那
for the
就
Bado
是
being,
中阴身的
spiritual
大
being,
部分
Dharma
就是说
protectors, Nagas,
他在中阴
Devas,
身
and
或者
deities
他
with
上来的
superior
时候，其
capacities.
实对他们来讲是非常
If one can instantly realize the true nature of reality with a clear mind and enter into the true reality of prajna,
在
then that
这
is
个
truly a great
中
blessing.
阴身会有累世的冤结
During this
缠
period, the Bado
然
beings
后
may find themselves entangled
成为
in
法师的
accumulated
纠缠
karma debts and
变成
conflicts spanning many
烦恼
lifetimes.
变
These
恨
issues often take the opportunity to manifest during various rituals,
就说中阴身
and these knots of
在
resentment and grudges
由
seem
佛菩萨
endless.
所摄招来的。那么这个
So
就
this
像上
means
次讲，
that
就是主坛那一个或是护坛的法师，
um,
主要是讲主坛法师了。主坛法师呢，
the
他就是
master
要
presiding over
宣示
this session
所以我们刚刚讲，除
must
了
help
邀请这个
both parties
灵士来以外，其实
untangle their grudges and resolve
这
them
个上师还
with
要
open-mindedness.
化事为宜调解人调解，
So
因为上师有
So
调
this
解，
means that during these Buddhist
让他
rituals, when both the diseased and the
心大
deceased karmic debtors gather
然后
together,
就跟他
um,
怨亲结
the
恨，
presiding the
使得
master presiding over the session must
要让
act like
来
a
世知道说，
mediator to help
其实
resolve
都是
any
互补
conflicts or any grudges that these two parties have
没有
towards each
认为
other.
说这个要放下大家都是有共同的这个佛性，然后要愿亲平等。那像我们常常在开示
So
其实这一段应该是临终8小时里面，有时候也可以讲，并不只是做那个。
So this can also be shared during the golden 8 hours, apart from sharing them during the marriage ceremony, because coming debtors of the deceased may also be present. So we can also repent towards the coming debtors in hope that they will forgive the deceased. So we can also advise the deceased to to seek the forgiveness of from his coming debtors, and then tell the deceased coming debtors that since we have already invoked Bodhisattvas and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to let go of their grudges so that they may move towards rebirth in Pure Land. So yep, so it is. So we can also in these ceremonies we can also invite the karmic debtors to make aspirations to be reborn in Pure Land and embark on this auspicious journey with joy. So we'll talk about the three periods recitation, which is typically practiced in which is a typical Buddhist practice, and it involves Buddhist rituals divided into three time periods, and each period includes seven types of practices, which is recitation of sutras, chanting of Buddha's name, Dharma teachings, practicing the path, repentance, practice, making vows, and singing verses of praise. So this is how we should learn. We should learn. We should start from things that we can see, which is a sadhana and physical things, and then move towards having the right mindfulness. So this three periods recitation is also quite similar to our TPS sadhanas in the sense that they are also invoking the light of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to guide and liberate the um spiritual beings. To guide and liberate the Buddha beings. So furthermore, if there are other living Buddhist disciples and participants around at that moment, through listening to the teachings of the Vajra master, they can practice the path to enlightenment and the path to liberation, generate the wisdom of prajna, and attain the ultimate benefits of Dharma. This is the true merit of Bhaga rituals, guiding mass sentient beings to liberation by strengthening their faith, benefiting the living and the deceased, and the assembly of spiritual beings. So this is what we tell family members when you listen to the Dharma teachings as well as the sutras, you you will also receive our blessings, and you kind of form an affinity with Buddhism. So I think in these situations actually when in this kind of situations it's actually quite easy to explain to share about Buddhism with family members in this kind of situations, because most family members are willing to listen to such teachings at that time as converse to as compared to asking them to come for lessons. So this is because they want this is because they are in a situation where one of their loved ones has passed away, so they want to help the deceased, their loved ones in any way they can. So when you are able to share teachings teachings or like Buddhist practices such as these, it will be extremely valuable and they are very often very receptive to
好，
such
那接下来就有一
information.
点补充重点的东西了哈。因为
So
我们刚
we'll
刚
let,
哦，
so
像
this
我
is
们
just an
这样子
elaboration
看哈，
on
就是我们真佛宗的弟子啊，其实啊哈，
so
我现在
as
是补充一点我自己，因为刚刚我们
an
分享
elaboration
所谓
on
的
the
真佛宗
different
的
Buddhist
品格，那现在是
uh
我特别补充一些
rituals.
以及分享心得。
Yeah, so this is
每一个真佛宗的大德的
reflections
练习
that
啊，
teacher Wu Zhi
年轻的、老的哈，有经验的、没经
has
验的哈，事实上刚刚的那一些经文啊，
consolidated.
我们都可以在殡葬场里面分享。那因为
So
我常常
we can also
进入
share
进入殡葬场了之后，很多的师兄师姐哦，他们不是
um
不是真佛宗，他说哎，徐师兄你好像做这样做很久了。我说没有啊，我那时候回答说没有，我才刚做一两年而已。哎，可是看你跟家属在谈话，怎么
yep, so we can also so earlier we
这个
mentioned various
智慧
Buddhist
哦，
scriptures, so we can also
真
share
佛宗
them
你
when we
哦，而且
when
这
we
个
are at
智慧是
the
这个
deceased's
圣人
funeral
在
to the
我们
family
这个
members.
他把这些东西搬到殡葬场的讲而已啊。那当然他们对这个是不熟，但是我们非常熟哦，所以我们讲起来是就像刚刚我们是非常顺口的，我们不是背的，我们很有自信的。我们的用词啊哈，
Yep,
跟
so
一般的殡葬礼仪的礼仪社不太一样。而且我们知道啊哈，这时候真的做这些佛事对家属是非常有帮助，不是对家属，对亡者是非常有帮助的。那家属也是透过我们这样的讲解哦，那
so if
他
we
才会理
do
解说哦，
this
对，那我真的是
kind of
非常
rituals,
当
these
然
Buddhist rituals
他可
is
能第
actually
一次做
very
完了，
beneficial
第二次做完了，
for the
那他
deceased.
可能会
And when we
记得
explain,
哦，那他就
if we are able to
会
explain
要再
adequately to the family members, they
再
will
回
find
来，
these
也会透过我们这样的一
rituals
个分享讲解哦，一点点一点
meaningful
点
as
的让
well.
大家
So it is
都知
really up
道，
to
一
us
开始讲
to
老的，一开始
explain
讲
these
下属，
the significance and meaning
那
of
家属
these
不知道的时候，
uh
他当然不会讲，
rituals.
他不会问，你不会讲，
And
他当然只能问
yeah,
家
so
属
if we
嘛，
do not
对不
introduce
对？
such practices
所以这是
to the family
我们
members
的
and only talk to them about
甚
maybe
至
the
是为了跟
costs
家属
of this
讲的时候，
rituals,
他
then
们
the
问的就
family
是
members may not
他们觉得
understand.
那这样很好，
So if you are able to
我
share
我可以
such
让他们
information,
稍微
the
回应一下。
theory, what the
那
scriptures,
当然你就是要去
how the
谈
rituals
这些
are
东西，
supported
这
by
个当然
Buddhist
就是没
scriptures,
问题的哦，就
that- in the sense that they are beneficial for the disease,
所以
then
刚刚我
the
们
family
讲
members will
说
be more
这
willing
时
to
候
listen to
跟
you.
家属要做几场佛事，就是哦，我们要让他有这个机缘能够认识佛法，认识真佛宗，
So this is
这是
actually an
其实是
opportunity for family members
那我们
to
目前
get
其实
familiar
台
with
湾哦，
Buddhism as well as TPS.
我们像台湾哦，我们相信其他世界各地也一样，就是说出殡的时间会越来越短。就所谓出殡，就是说往生之
So there's
后，
actually
当大体进入放到棺木里面，到火葬场或下葬这一段的期间呢，是非常短的。以前农业社会可能土葬，然后这个做殡葬可能就是会在家里面停灵1个多月，有可能哦。但是呢，因为家属有时候会知道说，哦，对啊，黄师兄，你讲的这个佛事很重要，我知
so
道。
actually there's a
刚
the
刚
in Taiwan the
这样子
duration of a
形容
funeral
的时候，
procession
其
is
实他
getting
们
shorter
心
and
里的内
shorter.
心是很
Unlike
感
in
动
the olden
哇，我们这样子
agricultural
不是
societies
要
where
让
there was
他
plenty of
一个
time for the
月， 然
disease
后
to
过世
remain at home for more than
这19
a
天里
month.
面，他们，例如说我现在排位在老家，那么他就每7天要回老家一次，哎，那他这19
So
天
if
会
we
多
were
久
to
呢？
do
其
the
实大家都很忙嘛，有的时候
7
工作，
weeks
有的没办法。可是
morning
现在大部分
practice,
的家属他们
it
都
is
会想
also
说，
quite
不知道
inconvenient
这个
for
黄师兄可不可以
family members as they may
提前
have to
过2天，或者
attend
3天，或者5天后，或者
a
7天
ritual
后，
every 7 days
10天后就要出殡了。那我们是不是
over
可以把
49 days.
这个期都先做完？以
So
前
many
我们以
family
前我们
members will
做殡
ask if
葬
they
是这样
can complete
但是事实上按照
these
网上的
these
资料
rituals that is meant
这个东
for
西，我们会
to
建
be
议是
done over
越晚
49 days.
越好，
Uh,
因为他要6到
can
8
they
天
do it
的
in
时间，
advance or can they do it
长时
together
间的在等待，
so they don't have to
在
spread it out over such a long
等
period?
家属做功德给他。那如果我们
So
一
actually
次
the
都给他
disease,
全部
what
做了
the
功德，
disease is actually waiting
那就
for
很快
family
他的
members
灵是不是能够很快
to help
的
him
散尽呢？
help them do
刚刚我们讲
merits,
的这个
help him or her
家
do
属会分
merits.
析说，哎，可以呀，最主要是要讲也可以啦，不会讲不行。好，不会讲不
So
行，
most
不行的
importantly,
可不
if
可以？
family members
他就
ask
可他可能就哦，
if they
那我们知道
can
了，
do
那这个我们
such
真的没办法配合，那我们就不做了。
Buddhists can, if they ask, if family members ask if they can make such adjustments to these Buddhist rituals, you you can tell them it's possible. So you can do these rituals in advance together instead of prolonging them over a 49 days period.
也不一定会太坚持啊，因为有时候配合这个叫做社会情况，也应该要调整哦。
So actually
那刚刚
many
说的是要按照规矩每7天做一次，然后要做满49，其实这么多也有。我们不能讲没有，有同家属会
so
说
many
哦，那个师兄我们有时间啊，我们就愿意按照规矩，我们就每7天到雷藏寺到牌位那边去
so
做。
some family members
可是
actually
有的
are
没办
okay
法，
to
那你
do
怎么办？
over to
处
do
理
the
方式就很多。
entire
你也不能
ritual
说哦，
over
人家要按照规矩，那
49 days.
嫌麻烦，不能这样哦。
So we can also
要
go
根
along
据
with their
你的
wishes.
他
So
们
but in
希望
actuality,
要在49天内做功德，那你一
the
定要在哪一天？
scriptures
所以有时候家属
in the
会
Buddhist
说，
scriptures is stated that
至少可以就
these
是
meritorious deeds or rituals can be done within 49 days. And so actually
跟大家分享哦，叫
if we
做
were
佛
to do
教
it
的一个民俗的说
in
法，这个
advance, it is also okay. It's also
因为
possible.
我毕竟只有台湾经验哈，那其他的
So
家属可能
let's
想法会
share my
不太一样
experience
哦，就是
in
说
Taiwan.
头
So I'm not
七
sure about what the other
上
customs
七
are
哦，
in other
头七
countries.
就是头七、二七、三七、四七、五七、六七哦，七也叫满七哦。那
So
所谓的头七的说法，
regarding
就是
the
往生的那一天哦，就是说今天往生，今天就算第一天哦，不是过了24小时才算一天，不是，今天就算第一天了。所以超过
regarding the
不要超过
sorry,
11
give
点
me
哦，超过11点，因为我们大部分是看农历的，所以今天晚上的11点开始，如果说现在往生，那今天他到11点之前就已经算第一天了。哦，那第一天，然后今天就算第一天，然后就开始哦，
so we have to see the timing the disease
到下个
passes.
星期六哦，那算7天，第7天那一天就是头七。哦，那
So
这一部分传统
the
中国
seventh day
大陆
after
的
the disease
头七呢，真
passes
的是要
is
由
called 头
儿子
七 in
准备
Chinese.
贡品。哦，那所谓的准备贡品，其实就是儿子要出钱哦，大概就这意思哦。二七呢是由二七这样二七叫
Yeah,
做
so
为媳妇负责。
for the for the
三七
seventh
呢叫出嫁的女儿。
so day 7,
这样懂吗？这
the
个
sons are in
这个
charge
是
of
要
preparing
根据上
the
面
ritual
讲的哦，
offerings.
是头七
And
儿
then
子，
for
二
the
七媳妇，三
so
七
there are
是儿
7
女，
weeks, right? So
四七是子女，
these
五七是
these rituals are
出嫁，
done on the
是
seventh day of
出
each
嫁
week.
的
So for
女
the
婿。
first week, the seventh day of the
所以
first
我
week,
们
which is
用
day 1,
儿孙女或者
sons
儿
is
孙
in
女
charge
就越好
sons are in charge of preparing the
二
ritual
七二
offerings.
七又大七，
Then for the second week,
大七
the
呢就
seventh
是
day of the second
更
week,
要
which is
好
day
好的，
14,
儿
the
子就要出钱。
daughter-in-laws are in charge. And then
可是
for
呢，
the
奇怪，其实
day
我们
21, the
都
third
是
week, married daughters
像
are
以
in
前我们
charge.
也是礼赞学生，
Day
很
of
好
week
玩。
4, day 20,
礼赞老师
28, nieces are in
老
charge.
师怎么教我们
Day
就怎么做，
35, the fifth week,
拿来
married granddaughters are
那
in
看到儿
charge.
子的就叫儿子
Day
出，然后
42,
我们礼赞会教
week
我们说，
6,
哦，你女
married
儿啊，你儿
grandnieces
子
or
也
great
可以出钱。
grandnieces are in
然后
charge.
还有一些
And
老
then
师叫
with
我
the
们
last
孙子
week,
来看，每个人算一算，哦，那你
day 49, the
儿子
sons
就
are
要
again
头
in
七、二七、
charge.
三七、四五都要做。这就是大概就是这意思，让家属多做七嘛，那殡葬礼仪社就会多赚钱那实际上这个说法是没有根据啊。我们的老
So
师
actually, there is no
来者
scriptural basis for such
那这
tradition,
个
even though it's
这个
widely
实际上是
practiced.
为了要让家属分摊费用而
So
做的，所以
my
因为
funeral
我刚刚说
director
到的
actually shared that
经验里面从来没
this
有
was
过这样，
created by
没有这么
ceremonial
多人
service
做这么奇怪
societies
的
to
事情
let
做，没有这种情
family
况。
members share the
那为
cost
什么是我们
of
要
the
做这个？
seven week
这是
mourning rituals.
这是我们了。
Actually, there
大
is
家讲
no
错了。
but the Buddhist scriptures do not
有
mention
很多
this.
礼仪跟
So this is actually created
在
by
在礼
ceremonial
仪里面讲
service
说，每村都会有很多礼仪，这个
societies.
村跟那个村礼仪就不一样。那过
So
世前
we have
会
many
有时候
customs.
我们讲不一样，
Actually,
因为
we
我们这里
do have many
可是
customs
你们当地也许有当地特殊的仪
all
式
around the
也许有其
world.
他的
So you may have your own local
就是
customs,
不太一样。
and
那
we
时候
are unable to say
很
that
多
these
时候
customs apply to you.
就是那时候没有礼仪社，那时候就是我
So
们
many
礼仪
times
社搞
these
完，然后
customs
人
are
就越
actually
多，那
created
当然
by
会有一些
ceremonial service
主要
providers.
的负责殡葬的人，然后他们就会想一些说法。那其实并不
So
一定
they may come up
当
with
时
certain
是这样。也没有孔子也没说
ways of doing things, and it may not necessarily be backed by Buddhist scriptures.
好，那作为那刚刚讲了，那你头七要儿子做，没儿子都不用做头七啊。如果有的家属很聪明，那黄师兄你说头七都不
So
做，那我们没有女儿的，是不是也就不用做三七了？不是这意思。那当然
so many
有
families
人
may
看到
come
头
up
七
with
五
the
岁以
idea
后
that
就不
if
再做。
because sons are in charge of preparing the ritual offerings on the on day 7. So if the deceased have no sons, does this mean that they do not have to do the ritual on day 7? No, it doesn't mean that 啦。
听听他就知道是什么意思。好，
So
那么我们刚刚讲做功德坛，就是一般商家会在出殡
they
前，
still have
我
to
们的习惯就是
it is still good for them to
七
do
二七，然后
these
满七的
rituals.
时候，如果家属的预算够，我们会跟他讲说，那你满七应该做一个更大的佛事。这个佛事呢，就是可能要出殡的前一晚，因为出殡前一晚
So
你
we'll
会场啊什么都布置好了，你前一晚来做，刚好那些器具器材都会这个具备，你准备起东西来也会比较专
so
业。
often
所以如果大
advise
家都一次
family members to
备准备
do
好，第二天要
the
出殡的时候来做，那一些东西刚好都用得到，也比较有一个圆满，因为它是满七嘛。
the ritual that is meant
最好
for
的就是这个
day 49 and to
要
often do it
材
in a
这样
more
比如说
in a
一定要
grander and
不
on
是
a
说
bigger
一定
scale.
要怎么样，没有这个没有一定。有时候像我们在安排
So
佛
actually
事的
there's
时候，
nothing that
我觉得
is
西方应该很多时候
is
就是法师
absolutely
那
necessary.
这个道场的龙寿，
There's
他
no
们应该
fixed way
都
that we
对
have to
佛
do
事的经验
something.
比我多。你们大家
So
都
I'm
会
sure
对
that
这个佛事安排要以上师跟法师的时间为主。例如说今天我们
so it is best if these
我们
Buddhist
上师
rituals
呢，
can
是来
be
帮
uh
我们的亡者的
arranged
做功德，
accordingly to
不是
the
我们
master
跟
or reverend that is
这个
presiding over the ceremony.
家属一下子就说好，那我们就几月几号请上司来，不能这样讲。我们要怎么讲？我们讲说好，那你想做，我回去请示一下。
So
因为
if
你现在
the
讲的
family
是上
members
司，那
wish
还有
to
很多
do
的时间，那我们就以
a
上
ritual
司
on a
法师
particular
的时间
day,
为准。
we have
如果那
to
一天没空，我
respond
们
to
就
them
协调，
and tell them
那
that
就
oh
会
since you want to
请
do
上司回来。那大家
we understand that you want to do
法为主，
these rituals,
就
but
是
we have to
说
check
我们
with
请假，那就以上司
the masters and
为时
reverends
间，
if they the
就
master
上司
or the
法师
reverend if they are available.
互动啊。上司法师待会
So
就
then
会
we have to
进入
inform
家属的身边，
the
这样
master
就
and
会有
reverend,
一种互相
and then of course masters and reverends would also try their
安
best
排
to
头七的佛事的时间。
meet the family members'
再来
wishes
供亡者的供
to
品，在
perform
台湾
these
其实有
morning
一些
rituals.
这个也不是一定怎么样，但是在我讲就是台湾今天就知道，那个刚刚我们一个画面，那个画面就是叫六菜一饭，这个是专门供亡者的。所以我如果去
So
像有时候我们礼仪公
so
司
this is what
服务
is
人员
usually
来
practiced in
送给
Taiwan.
家属，那
The
事实上
offerings in terms of the offerings.
像我们在殡仪
So
馆，
it
我们
is
配合
the
厂
the
商，
offerings will include one bowl of rice with 6
就家属会
dishes.
送这个饭菜。那这饭菜的作用就是叫做早晚要拜饭。那有一个
And these offerings are to be offered in the morning
12菜一饭，
after the sun
就是6种菜。
rises and in the evening before the sun
道
sets.
教来讲，就是不一
So
定
it may
是
be one bowl of
佛教
rice
当
with
然是
6
不会排
dishes
除的。那
or
道
one
教
bowl
比
of
较
rice with
特别，有的认为说
12
荤素
dishes,
都
I
可
think.
以，就不计荤素，荤的素的都可以。有时候会看亡者的喜好，
So there is no
他喜
restriction
欢吃荤的，
in terms
就
of
用荤的。那有的
whether the
家属
food has to be
有的比较
vegetarian or not. So
那
meat
我
can
们
also
请
be
示
offered.
说好 OK， 那我们就都拜。
So but if
那
some
跟
if certain
家属
families
协调，而不是一定怎么样。
but if certain families
那
say that they want to have vegetarian
六
only,
菜一
then
饭，
we can follow
早晚
we will
早
follow
上
what the family
休息的
wishes.
时候不要拜，准备
So
菜
we offer these
晚上要
food
太阳要下山
in the
之前
morning,
要拜。
both in the morning and in the evening. So in the morning after the sun rises and in the evening before the
然后
sunset. So this is what it
没
has
有
been
灵堂，
traditionally
没
practiced.
有灵堂就不用供了，没有灵堂。也有的现在有的家属很简略，他连灵堂都不想设，那个比较特别，但是也是有。再来呢，我们可以供什么呢？就是供
So then what else can
亡者
we
喜欢的，
offer?
就是我们的贡品，除了刚讲六菜一
So
饭，
we can also offer
其
to
实
the
我们也可
deceased
以
that
供
the
在做七的时候，我们常常会跟家属讲说，除了六菜一饭以外，你也可以准备妈妈或爸爸或爷爷奶奶他生前 所喜欢的东西，
Yep. So apart
这是
from
S 型的
the
共品。
food,
然
we
后
can
第二个
also
第三个
prepare
是
things that the
饭后
disease
菩萨的供品
likes
可以
when they
共品，
were alive.
就是我们一般在吃
And
素
some
的
one
部
thing
分
to take
可能
note,
会有2个，一个是
items that have been
饭
offered to
第二个
Buddhas
就是
and Bodhisattvas
肉
can be offered again to the
知道没
deceased.
错，最好的效果是
However,
肉
items that have already been
那
offered
饭
to the
后菩
deceased
萨的
cannot be
供品是
offered
在龙边，
again
哦，
to
这个要记
Buddhas
住。
and Bodhisattvas.
那供佛菩
So
萨的一定是在湖边，哦。那如果王者在中间，那么供佛菩萨的就是在龙边这边，哦，因为有时候灵堂是以王者的像为准，中间嘛，那它旁边龙边这一边，哦，
So in terms of
这个
setting
这
up a
边
tablet,
就是为
the
王者
often the
的
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will be on a
供
higher
品，
level,
哦，
and
这
then
是在
the
供
deceased
王者，
tablet will be on a lower
中
level.
间才是
And
供佛，供佛菩萨的王
or
者
in other
是在
cases, the
天堂，
Buddhas and
哦，这是
Bodhisattvas
王者，这
will
个是
be
习俗，
set up
对，
in
有
on the
2个，
dragon side,
一个
and
是
then the
供
tablet of the deceased will be set up
供
on
佛
the
到佛菩萨，
tiger side.
一个是不要浪费食物，哦，那我们知道每天换供
And
品
then
的时候，
so
这个
if
时
you
间，
have
哦，
if you have
跟
made
这个
offering
都是
if they
一
are
样，
offering
哦，
items
家里面的水果一
sorry
样
if
一起
items have been offered to the
那
Buddhas and
所以这
Bodhisattvas,
样子我
we
很
can
容易
also
就
offer
可以
them
了解
again to the deceased. So this actually helps
然
with
后接下来就讲，如果是这么
to reduce wastage of food
大家
as
一
well as
定
to
都
help
有
the
看
deceased
嘛，供品要
um
准备的东西，
get
这个其实
food
你
that
在
has
这
been
边的
blessed
准备的
by
东西
Buddhas
可
and
能会跟其
Bodhisattvas,
他不一样。
which is also another source of
如果
blessing.
像我们道场的服务人员，刚好有我们的同修，他的家属往生了，延请了我们的上师法师，哦，透过大
So
悲咒
if
安
in
排佛事，哦，那像我们礼仪人员，哦，当然不是每个地方都有像我这种懂真佛宗的礼仪人员嘛，有时候道场师兄师姐可能或是堂主啊，哈，法师要
so when
帮
family
忙，
members
帮亡者的家属准备贡品，因为有的
yeah,
亡
so
者的家属，第一个并不一定有那么多时间，因为有
with
的
regards to
丧
these
葬的时间看
offerings,
起来是很长的，大家要了解。
the
但是
personnel at cultivation
像
venues
我
as
道
well
场
as
可以说
masters and
师兄可以
reverends
帮你非
are
常
able
多，
to
你
help
就
the
准备
family
贡品，
members
因为
prepare
可
these
能在
offerings.
准备
It will be best
车辆
as the family members may not be
哦，
familiar or may
准
not
备
have
好
time
了，
to
那
do
我相
so.
信很多人都知道，那我就
So there are a
基本
few
上我们贡
key
品3个主题，
points.
就是一个叫香花灯茶果，像我们准备贡品我就背这个，哦，
So
快
there
点
are a
说
few
说
key
我就
points to
背
the offer
香花灯茶
as to
果
what to prepare
五行
as offerings.
金木水
So we
火土，
can the first is incense,
香花
flowers,
当然
lamb,
可以
tea, and
点
fruit.
灯，加
香花灯茶果。
油灯或电灯，哦，像有的是电灯，哦，代替电灯，
Incense, flowers,
哦，或者是
lamb,
茶叶啦，或者是饮料，哦，果就是水果，
tea, and
五行就是金
fruits.
木水火土，金是
And
木，
also
木
the
就是
five
木，
elements,
水就是冬粉，哦，这个大家都知道，哈，有的知道，
matter, wood,
有的不知道，哦，所以我们再讲一
water,
次，
fire, and
火就
earth.
是
So
豆干，哦，土就是指香菇，金木水火土，
we can
上一
get
讲
items that
对，
represent
第三
the
讲就
five
讲
elements.
菜
So
的
for
部分，
matter, we have the orange
哦，
daylily. For wood, we have
那
edible tree
香花灯
fungus
茶果
or
就是金
mu.
木水火
And
土，
for water,
这
we
个
have
香花
glass noodles, fire,
水火土，
tofu, and earth
米
is
山就是
represented
金
by
木水
shiitake
火土，米山
mushrooms.
是什么？就是米跟面，哦，又跟面不
As
是米啦，
then
哦，
the third,
面馒
we
头是
can
上面的
prepare
哦，
mountain's
那
treasure and sea's
这个
flavor,
就是水跟
which
金木
is
水火
ginger
土，
and
哦，
salt.
都要有一点点，这真的
And
非常
afterwards,
简
we
单。
can prepare
我
rice
们
mountains,
如果对道场师兄师
and
姐有认识的，
ambrosia, which
哦，
is
我们可以
rice
在一
noodles
般的家属，你
buns.
这样跟他讲，他头都大了。
And then for
哦，
ambrosia, it is
这个
water and
看起来
liquor.
佛是这么，所以有时候要告
So
诉
these are
他
the
这个是什
basics
么，
of
哦，
the different
那
offerings that we can prepare.
口诀要告诉他，佛是我帮他准备。还有特别的，刚刚讲的
So you
香
may
花
wish
灯
to
茶
inform the
果
family members of
五
these
行，哦，
offerings,
金木
or you
水
can help
火
them
土，
prepare.
山珍海味，米山甘露，还有一个叫做
So
水
incense,
跟
flowers,
fruit
lamb, tea,
茶叶
fruit,
的贡品，
food
水就是
representing the
冬
five
粉，
elements,
什么
food representing
稻
mountains, treasure
稻
and
穗
sea's
的米，
flavor, as well as food, as well as rice, mountain, and
那在道场
ambrosia.
来讲会准备药壶，哦，煮一个药壶，然后像我们礼仪公司叫煮药壶，哦，帮助家属啊，煮药壶之后，帮这药材供养佛菩萨，
So we can also prepare
那这是
offering
在
items
过程，
corresponding
哦，
to
比
the
如说我们已经，
sorry.
哦，亡者了，哈，爸爸妈妈，哈，病已经好了，不用再吃药了，哈，大概就是搞是
We can also
我们
offer
比较
items
过这种
corresponding to the main deity. So,
那
for
家属
example,
可以
if you are doing a medicine
上
Buddha
香的时
repentance
候，
ceremony, you can
前面
prepare
这些像师父
medicinal
佛忏啊，这
herbs.
些有的家属他对佛法不太熟的，他不知道中央的这个上师啊，哈，主法的上师在做什么，但是摔药壶他就看
So,
得懂，他知道说我终于今天做了3个小时这样，哈啦的
so
效
many
果，
times
终于，
when
哦，原来有一个圆满，就是他就永远记得那个画面，药壶被我摔破了，哦，有帮了， 不用再吃药了。哦，大概就是我们会
呃
一个，那当然这个东西就是属于传统礼俗啦，就让大家知道，那这么多正式的法会是没有这个啦，不是说以后这么多法事每个人都在摔药物，这不是的，但是有时候如果我会看情况，如果这个家属有很多传统的家属，道教的，其实这些环节应该大家都不陌生。如果大家对道教稍微有熟悉的话，大家是不陌生。
Okay, so for example, for medicine Buddha repentance ceremony, we can consolidate the medicinal herbs in a jug for as offering, and after the ceremony has ended, we can smash the medicine jug. So this is a it's a symbolism of we tell the family that it represents the disease has recovered from his or her illness and has no need for any medicine. So this is something that the disease something that the family members can see and understand. So it helps them understand more despite them not understanding despite them not understanding the different TBS sahanas. So thank you, teacher Utsai, for sharing his experience. So as so to summarize today's lesson, doing meritorious deeds for both the has benefits for both the deceased and as well as the living family members. So today, so sorry. So now we'll proceed to our Q&A session, and we have some questions that have been collected from the past lesson. So this question is: at memorial service events, I have encountered family members who strongly oppose Buddhist chanting rituals, as well as funeral directors strongly promoting various kinds of joss paper packages. How do we deal with them? And what about the tradition of burning joss papers at the wake? So for this question, the answer,
主持白事遇到家属亲戚
if
强烈
we meet
对，因为
such
他会觉得说，
situations where
你看
we
还要
we
把小
encounter
的时
family
候拆
members who
开，这样子
strongly
把小的时候才能动起来，
oppose
他不
such
知道要干什么，他平常是没有
rituals,
做，这个其实很重
and
要。
because they are not familiar with
如果
TBS
看到这个做法
practices,
很
and
错
they
的
are wondering,
情
huh,
况，
why
我
should
们
we
就
wait
会
8
现场
hours
是没有
before we
办
can
法
move the
做的，
body?
就是为什
So
么这样子？
in this situation we have to assess the
很
situation
多人
first.
硬是要助念那怎么办呢？我们只能够说，那我们
So we can't force
如果
our
是
way.
可能能够拿到王者的
We
记
do
录，
our
这是我
best.
们第一堂课，
If we can get the basic this
传真到现场
details,
去，请每个
sorry,
人请示
the
的见证。
particulars of the deceased,
第二个，
then we can
如
send a
果
message to
有人
Seattle
知
to
道
invite
他是王
Grandmaster
者，
to receive and liberate the
这个
deceased.
事件是今年才
And
发
if
生的，因为人往生当然
we
是
have
有些时候突
contacted
然发生的啦，
TBS
但是发
cultivation
生之
venue,
前我们已经还没发生前，你就知道可能这一阵子可能要发
and
生
if the
事情，
TBS
我们就知
cultivation
道这个
venue
地点
is
在哪里，
available,
赶快去。你也知
we
道说，
can go
你
to
到这里你
the
没办法助念，因为你可能是晚辈，你没办法去主导这个佛事。那但是你也
yeah.
有
So
可能的，
if we already kind of know that
阿
if the
嬷阿公或是你
kind
的
of
长
know
辈
that
能够
it
有
is
办
difficult
法
to arrange a
在
chanting
此
session
刻
at the
就
venue
可以到
itself,
场去，
or
所以就告诉法师或堂主，
you may not have the decision making power
去
to
跟
have
他说，
to kind of like
如果到时候你
have
不
a
要讲一样，
chanting
如果
session
半夜往生
at where the disease
因为就是怎么样，
has passed,
赶快请上
you may
现
wish
在就在
to
道场里面
contact the cultivation venue in advance
助念，就是把助念站起来，
and invite
要助念
TBS master
这
or
样
TBS
这个
reverend
东西就像
to help
你一
host
开始要先讲
the chanting session at the cultivation
有
venue
事情发生了就打电话给他
instead.
讲说，哎，我谁已经走了，那可不可以请
So you can call the cultivation venue and
尽
then
快安排
ask
做
them whether it
佛
is
事进道场，
whether they can help
好好
arrange
做。
a chanting session for the disease as soon as
毕
possible.
竟这个
So
事
we
情
can do it at the
对我们
cultivation
现
venue
在要
instead
讲
of at the
往
venue
生
where the
是一件很大
disease
的事情，
passed
不是一般
away
一
at.
般人就是整个
So
家族
we have to
大
be
家聚
aware
在一
that
起来讨论的事情。
the death of an
那
elder or the death
那
of
如果你
a
真的
loved
不
one
行，
is a matter that
有时
concerns the
候
entire
后事
family.
不能够用我们真佛宗的礼
And
仪
if
方
there
式，
is no
那
consensus
可能
consensus to
就不能
perform
用
TBS rituals,
那类似的这样
we can. This is what we can only do.
次啊，这个洪氏连妃上次他也是回答过类似的问题，就是因缘不具足，没有办法现场做。
So actually in the previous lessons, Master Lian Fei has also talked about this. If there is no affinity to have the chanting session at the venue of the where the disease is at, we can do it at the cultivation venue instead.
或临终关怀需要做任何真佛仪式吗？
So this question on the screen is if we are going to help with end of life chanting, is there a TBS sahana to follow? And yes, there is. There is a TBS Sahana for end of life chanting on the TBS website, and we should follow this Sahana.
常常会去上课，像接下来连月上师他也会上课，他也讲的
And
是一
then
些用助念的一些仪式。
so I'm sure all of
所以
us
生活中
are
是有亡者的仪轨，也有亡者的仪轨。
are continuously attending these classes. So in the next part of this module, Master Lian Yue will also be sharing on this.
但是我们生活中就是有临终关怀的中阴文教救度，
So
所以呢，它更加的传承，而且
TBS also has its own sadhana
这个行者或上师法师
to follow.
家属一起做。
So the TBS master or the person leading the ceremony can follow this sadhana.
请问有同门问
The
骨
third
灰
question
没
is
有往生前可以放师尊法
uh
护魔灰吗？
this question is regarding colubrium
可以
niche.
放吗？
When one is still alive, can we
莲
put
珠上可以放吗？
Homa
请问
ash from Grandmaster's Homa ceremonies?
好，
How about
那这个
Grandmaster's
问
hair
题就
relic
是
or the
说，
TBS
现在
Vajrasayan?
我
Can we
们
put
骨灰
these in the
如果
colubrium
还没有
niches
往生，
before when
但
one is
是
still alive lah?
他讲还没有往生嘛，但是他可能
So
往
this
生
is a
前
question
还
when
好查，那这个也有，现在的人呢，以前
yeah,
可
so
能避谈生死，可是现在的人可能因为塔位啊，越早
this is
越好，
regarding
大家会先
if
包括
somebody has bought
有些
a
国家
colubrium
像
niche
是
when they are
西
alive
方
before
教
they
很多人
have
把自己
passed
的骨灰
away.
就埋好，那实际上在传统的
So
其他的
this
宗教
is
也会
quite a common occurrence
那埋好
today
之后呢，
because I
在一般
think
的
the earlier
也不是全部
maybe the earlier you buy it,
那边的规矩，像
the
我们
lower the
看
cost.
过，就是人家放一瓶酒，上面贴一张红纸，那个叫福位寿。
So
那像在我们西方境，
if one has the permission of the
西方境
colubrium, they can
西
indeed
方
put
其他
items
的
in the
宗
niche.
教
So for example, some
有
people
些
may
教法
choose to put a
西
bottle
方
of
境的
liquor inside.
那么师尊也有指
And
示
if
过
it's in a
说， 今天
favorable
可以把你的生命
geographical location, one
有一个
may
福
put
位，
their life
然
essence
后呢，
items. So this is actually
这个
practiced
这
in
个
Taiwan's
西
西方境. So 西方境 is actually in a very
这个是
favorable
这个
geographical
西
locations.
方境的
And many disciples who
传
have
承下
bought
来。
a niche
那他
there
这里有提到，就是
put their
师
life essence items
的
inside.
魔灰或师尊的法舍利或七宝莲池沙，我会建议
So as
这一部
for
分就是
the
你在
Homa
祭祀的时
ash,
候，就往生的时候，
grandmaster's hair relic or
当做家属
TBS
的
Rajasen, I
骨
recommend
灰
to
是黑
put
色的，然后
these
法舍
items
利
only
是
after
黑色的，那你全部把
the
它
deceased
除
after one
意
has
思
passed
是
away,
亡者要做生机嘛，不是师尊要做生机嘛，所以应该是放下来，
together
放
with
我们埋葬的
put them in the urn as blessing items
火
when the
把
deceased
时节
ashes is placed in the
当做
colubrium.
当做生机，感觉会比较好了。那这个如
Otherwise,
果
you
是
can
没有
put
往生
your
的话，
life
可
essence
能在
items, which are like
先
your
知
uh
这
hair
个
and
来
nails.
补充。好，下一题。
谢谢老师。下一道问
Thank
题
you,
是
teacher 吴自在.
如何把往生被、往生帽和
The
死
next
者
question
莲
is
池
how do we
沙
use
放在
the
亡者
bado
身
blanket,
上？
the bado
我
hat,
当
and the
时
vaja sand on the body of the
你是
deceased?
否跟着亡者火
When
化，
the body is
或
being
者埋
cremated, are
葬
these
时
items
候
to be
会在哪
incinerated
堆放？
together with the deceased?
老师麻
Or
烦
should we
你。
remove them to place them
好，
in the
这个
urn afterwards?
呃，
So this question,
我不知道等一下是不是有一个视频就是我自己有做过一个视频这视频就是在讲
actually I've prepared a
往生
video
被要怎么
regarding
处理。
this,
在佛教
regarding
上
how we
来
should,
讲，就是往生被
what
或
we
者
should do
是
with the bado
莲
blanket
池沙
afterwards.
这些东西其实是很尊贵的。然后
So
传统
these
上的
items, the
仪
bado
轨
blanket as well as the vaja
在
sand,
入殓的时候就会把它拿起
these
来。
items are actually very sacred.
那拿
So
起来呢，就会把它
traditionally,
不会很礼仪，而且就丢到垃圾桶去了。
because they are very
那后
sacred,
来我发
they will be removed from the diseased body,
本来是我们助念的时候，其实
and
大家都不太 OK
just
的，
in order
所以
to
当时在
avoid
入殓的时候，为什么
burning
没
it.
有拿起来？因为法师一直在传统佛
So
教的
because
法师一直
many
在
actually many
他们已经
traditional
烧好，然后放在那边，
Sutrayana
那
masters
法
or
师在
reverends
那个就是往生的时候，他
remove
洗
these
澡，
butter
而且
blankets
有时候那个大体会
from
装
the
现金
deceased
的血，然后
before
还有体液，其实往生的有时候是全部都是
before the body is
血，
sent for cremation.
沾满了各种
So actually
奇奇怪怪的东西的。那时候你说我们要拿到哪里去？哦，那以我们来讲，你家属不
actually
管，法师
in
也不
such a
管，那你
situation
人员
the
管，
butter
那
blanket
这
after
个
covering the
这时候
body
应该是怎
for
么
a
做？
long time
后来我
it
想
is
说，
quite
有没
susceptible
有那个
to
干脆
unpleasant
把它
odors
烧了？
and different and the
所以他就把
blood
那个
and bodily
圣物
fluids of the
，OK，
deceased.
这个以我们真佛宗来讲，哦，就是加持圣物应该要
So
放
it
下
is
来，
not
假设是很重要的，不应该拿起来。你拿起来就不要他加持，
so
是应该放着。
it is better not to remove it from the deceased of
上师
from the body of the deceased,
上师的这个
so we can place it
法
together
器
with
啊，
the
就
deceased
是入
so that
殓
the
的时
deceased
候
can get the
放这个什么？
blessings.
哦，入殓的时候应该放什么？哦，那这个
Okay, so the next
我会放在群组哦，因为我有整理。
so the next point is when the
最
body
后面的
is
东西是什么？
when
比较
so
难。
teacher was
刚
say
才
talking
佛
about
教
is
讲的
talking
比较
about
简
when
单，
the body
就是你
when the
先
body is
想办
placed
法，因
into
为
the
下师
coffin, what
讲的
items can
不
be
要
also put together
让
inside
大家
the
放
coffin.
太多的金子。哦，那如果
So
可
this
以
is
放金子，
only
因为以前是叫放库钱的，
um
固定大小。那如
this
果
is
可以的话，我们就
only
可
if
以
you have the
放
permission of the
20金
crematorium.
子。
So if it's
那这样
possible,
属于真佛
put
宗教
the
的
TBS
安全
joss papers at the very bottom of the
第二个
coffin, lining the
入殓
coffin.
跟戒衣。
Secondly,
这个往生者他本身是
Dharma ropes and
虔诚
precept
的真佛
ropes.
宗弟子，
So if the
哦，
deceased is
你
a
出
very
来 就
devout
帮他穿
TBS disciples,
黄色
you
的
have to
法
let
衣，
them
或者是
wear
把他
the
以
yellow
前在
Dharma
参加
ropes.
同修的时候会穿的法衣，当成入殓的衣
Yep.
服，
So
让他
the
在那边
Dharma
入
ropes that
殓。
the
那如果
deceased
往
usually
生者
wears
本
when he
身受
attends
过佛教的
cultivation
那
sessions,
自然会
and
戒衣
if the deceased
都
has
要
undertaken the
代表说以
um
后都是要
Bodhisattva
在
precepts,
修行上都有
he or she will also have precept ropes. So you
这个
have
受
to
护的
also
戒衣。
put these on
这
the
时候啊，当然这
deceased.
个你自己要记起来，交代你的家人，就是说，如果我往生，要记得把这个受戒的衣服
Yep.
先
So
穿
if
上，
you have
最好是穿上。好，那
yeah, so it's
就是
best
人也不会
if
讲，那
you can
我们就是要找那个
help
会
the
穿的，
deceased wear
哦，
these
他会穿比较
ropes,
平的，
these Dharma ropes and
慢
precept
慢在
ropes.
亡者的身上，这样懂吗？好，
Can
那
help
如
the
果我
deceased
们
wear
是
these
真
Dharma
佛
ropes
的
and
上师
precept
或法
ropes.
师，哦，
So if the
这个
deceased
正
is a
法
TBS
我之前
master,
讲过的，哦，那入殓的时候
this
呢，
is
一般上
something that
上师讲，
Grandmaster has
这
said
时候
before. For TBS master, when
往
their
生
body is placed into the coffin,
一定有家属才随便找一
they
个
should put
法
on
师啊，
their
或是什么的，那
TBS
这个
master
家属也不知道，
uniform.
就穿着一般的衣服或穿着便服就入殓，然后就火化了。
Yeah, so this is something that we should be aware of. So not everybody,
所以
if they are not,
为什么要特别
if the
强
family
调？
members are not
上师
TBS
有他
disciples, they
尊
will
贵
not
的
know
地
about
方，
this.
法师有他尊贵的地方，哦，所以
So the
上
same
居士
for
当然
ordained reverends, they should also put on their lama robes.
在家居士，哦，就是穿戒衣或法衣。上
So
师
for lay
法师就
disciples,
是要穿上师衣，
can wear
哦，
can
上
wear
师
lay
呢，
disciple
哦，
the if the
下
deceased is a
师
lay
就是
disciple, you can
穿
wear
法装。
dharma
对
robes
我们来讲
and
是
precept
本来
robes.
就应该这样
If the
子嘛，
deceased is a
不是要
TBS
特别交
master,
代，要说大家都穿一样。
they should put on their TBS master
再来，
uniform, their
上
robes,
师，
and
哦，
for ordained
入
reverends,
殓
they
的
should
时
put on their
候
lama
头要
robes.
戴五佛冠，这个
And
都是
especially
如果是
for
请上
TBS
师或是
masters, if
成
the
道
disease
教
is a
的成
TBS
人的，
master,
然后
they
往
should
生之
put
前
on
就要
their
请
five
上师
Buddhas
先有指示说，对，
five
你的
Buddhas
头上要
crown.
戴什么，哦，
So this is also
头上
something
戴
I've
什么，
asked Grandmaster and
真佛都会
Grandmaster
给你设
has
计，
said yes,
哦，
they
这样子
TBS masters, if they have passed away,
可以参考的
they
就是
should
你
wear
可
their
以
five
到
Buddhas crown
把他皈依证书找出来，
when their
然后到
body is
时候
placed
拿
into the coffin.
那当然有的比较
So
保
apart from
佑，
this, we
像是
can also
我
put
爸爸，我们爸爸
the
皈依
deceased
很久，
TBS
没走，
refuge
这个
certificate
都不见了，这常有的事
as
情，
well
不
as
要
their
不要
precept
说哦。
certificate.
那
So many family
就
members
是
come to tell me that
请道场，请法
my
师
parents
在
have
办法事的时候，哦，帮忙在写这个
taken
证书
refuge
提醒你，哦，就
a
把你
long
的
time
信
ago. I
息
can't
给
find
信息
a refuge
还有受戒
certificate.
证书，那有受过戒
In
证书，还有什么东西？
so in these
上师都
cases,
会在你的上师证书吧，
masters
这些
resources can help to reissue the refuge certificate. So this is very important to the deceased because it reminds them of their cultivation when they were alive.
大家记住，然后呢，
So
过了
we should.
生辈要
This
跪
is very
在
important.
大体
Okay, so
玄关
and then
话，
we
那
mentioned
当然
earlier the bottle blanket
要
needs to be covering the
连接
body
到
to be
天庭，
incinerated
这是
together with the
没有
coffin.
实际
And
上
then
当然最重要
the
的是
Vajra sand
一
has to
生
be
8
dotted
小时
again
之
on
后
the
就
deceased.
点金刚明砂，可是8 小时之后到出殡之前，因为还会洗川化大
So
体，
actually,
金刚
the
明
the
砂
Vajra
非常
sand
妙。
is dotted on the
那
deceased
洗掉家属的
during the
善良，就是我们
golden 8 hours.
看有时候会请
But
法
over
师在
this
位上面
period,
再涂上金刚明砂，这当做一种
or before the
那
body is placed
这样子
into the coffin, the Vajra sand that has been dotted on the
加
disease
持
may have
护
been
就刚刚讲
accidentally
这个
removed or
爱
cleaned away. So
耶
it's
稣
best to dot the
对不
Vajra
对？
sand again on the
上帝跟
deceased.
我要成为弟
And
子，
then we can also
上
put
帝
blessing
要
items
面见我，
into the coffin together with the
那这个
deceased,
是
such
最
as
后
Buddhist
最后的
pendants,
那
there
这
are
时候
mana beads or
我们要
nianzu,
请
as well
长
as
辈请法师，
sahana
同
books,
时在
sutras.
入殓的时候一起放到棺木里面，
And so,
放进去。
so for
那当
these
然我们
items,
很
we have to
多
remind
会
the
会
family
把它
members
分
that
成
to get ready these items so that they
它
are ready to be placed into the
每
coffin
每个
together
人
with
都已
the
经算出来，
deceased.
总共有一大箱，然后那一箱全部都放在棺木里面。以我们现代
So
住
you
的
have to
方法，每
be
一个
aware of
这个圣灵会在
the
那
amount of
个
items you
前
put
面，
into the coffin as well.
就
So
没有
if
几样就
so
几粒一粒。
avoid
还有
putting
一个就
too
是
many items into
家
the
属
coffin.
在告别式之前典礼当中往生之后，我们有时候会请家属念经，有的家属会抄经，
So
抄经文，有没有？抄高王经啊，
so during this period, some of the family members may also choose
或是
to
能不能
copy
做一个
or
折的
transcribe
部分，
sutras.
还有折的
And they have
有没有？
actually copied a lot of
折
sutras
折
or
108，
maybe
折
folded a
200，
lot of paper
或者是元
lotuses
宝。那
or
这些
paper
如果
ingots.
可以，就
So
是
all
在
these, right, if
做
is
事的时
possible,
候可以烧。第二个时间点就是第二个
you
时辰
can
就是入殓的
you
时候可以
can
放烟花
burn all
给家
these
属，因为家属自己也没
during
没时间
the
折的，他
within
也
the
知道
7
我可
days.
能没时间折，可不可
Sorry,
以
within the
帮我
49 days, or you can also put them into
买
the coffin
还有一个是
bin.
家属对亡者的祝福的追思卡，也有是说我念了1000遍的高王经，那我就把那
Okay.
1000遍
And
写下念
so we can also
就
put
放在
family members can also put
也有一首是纯粹是追思卡，
certain
然
cards
后
with blessings dedicating merits to the
感谢
deceased. For example, if the family member has recited 1,000 recitations of the Hiking Sutra, it can also
这个
put
也
that
是一种
dedicated to
对
the
家属
deceased can also
对
put
亡
that
者的祝福。其实
into
借
the
这一个问题衍生出一
coffin.
些上一次没有讲完，
So
因
I'm
为上次
taking
我
this
也有
question to as an
介绍
opportunity to elaborate more on
这一块，这个可以。
what can be placed into the
谢谢
coffin
老师。
together
下
with the
一个
body.
问题是，如果父母是
So the
后
next
者人员，
question is
父母往生的回向
if
时，是
our
否
parents
可以
are
给他
Dharma
们穿一下
propagators, when
孝
they pass
衣？
away, can we
哎，
help
这个
them put
刚刚
on
老师
their
回答过
Dharma
了。
robes before they are
这样
cremated?
就
So actually,
这
this
是
question
他
has
很
been answered
很
earlier
想
by
的
the
问题，当然可
so
以啊，
yes,
而且不
of
用
course. So the answer is yes, of course. It is a
下一个
must
问题
actually.
是，如果亡
So
者
next is
非真佛弟子，但
if the
家属
disease
要
is not
求
a
来帮他
TBS
诵佛
disciple,
经，
but their family
可不可
members
以用真
have
佛
requested
诵
for
还
me
是
to help
用
chant
真如
sutras
悔？
for the disease, can we use the
上面
TBS
两个
Sadhana
真
for
的真
memorial
诵经，
services?
他非
To
真
do
佛
so,
弟子，
I
但
previously
是
helped chant
我
sutras
用
for
真
someone
佛
who has
名字，
committed suicide,
请老师
and
回答。
he was not a TBS disciple, but I used the TBS
这个
Sadhana.
可以，可以，就是真
So I
佛弟
believe
子，
I think
当然
our
非真佛弟子也
teacher's answer is
就
yes.
是
I
一样
think
要邀请函，那按照他的这个亡者的姻缘，他
is
会不
yes.
会接受？这个是第一个看主法者的正量，第二个就是看他的姻缘，我认为可以啊。
So in the TBS Sadhana, when we invoke
谢谢老
Buddhas
师。
and Bodhisattvas, we also have to
下一个
see
问题
the
是，之
affinity
前
of
敏感
the
体质
disease,
的
but
是自
generally
己，
this can be done.
虽然有受披甲护身，有时还是觉得昏沉沉不
Next
舒
question is
服。
what should
请
people who
问
are
如
more
何
sensitive
呢？
do if they
应该
still
说
feel
如果
faint or
是
uncomfortable
受
when they
披
help
甲
with
护身，
chanting
他
despite
只是助
already
念，他
performing
觉
armor
得
protection?
不太舒服。
So this is if
有
they are
这种状
if they
况，
are
可是
going to help with chanting at the
防御的力量
uh
做的不够，就是
maybe the
有的时候
funeral parlor.
就是
So
那怎么办
the
呢？
answer is if one has already performed armor
那怎么办
protection
呢？
but
哦，
still feel
那
uneasy or uncomfortable
我们
after
只能
it
再做一次，就你做完
afterwards,
你还要
this
再
means
做，
that the strength of the
好，再
protection is
做。
not enough. So they
那
should
有
go
什
back
么
to the
方法？
cultivation venue or
那
go
有
to
叫做
in front of the
火
shrine
眼厨房
to do
哦。
purification again.
你说
So there's an old
每个人
saying, don't go into the kitchen if you're
不
afraid
行
of
哦，
heat.
每一个人有每一个人可以做的事情嘛。哦，那我以
But
前我还没做殡葬业的时候，
uh,
我也觉得我不需要太常清洁，
so in the past, before I
但是
started in the
我爬到
ceremonial
一半，爬到
services
一，
profession,
爬到一，毕竟殡葬场是那种这个有缘众生哦，非常多的
I think
地
I've
方
also come across
哦，
many
都是一些常
occurrences
有缘
where
众生的哦。那
people
我
have
做了殡葬业之后
um
啊，我常常跑这种场合哦，
encountered
我就发现
spiritual
说，哎，奇怪，那个就
disturbances.
刚才讲的，哎，
Yeah,
有时
so
候我们
so before I started in
那
this profession, I also thought
对
that
我
it
们
was
可能
not
缺乏
necessary to
这个
do
训练
purification
才
often.
对。
However,
所以
once I started
我
in
就
this
这个
profession
意识到，
and was
意识到
involved
说，
in
对，我们
memorial services daily, I
要
realized that
珍
we
惜
really have to perform
因为
purification
因为
often.
就一件事情发生了，看你是用什么角度来看待这个事情。像我就是说，哎，真的有以前没有，怎么现在长跑这个殡葬还真的有啊？那我就要透过
So
当
it
有
depends
这种
on
事情来
our
把我们
perspective, also how we
说
see
明
this.
来解除哦你
We
家
also
里
so
的
we have to use what
这
Grandmaster
种
taught
障
us
碍。
to help
哦，
resolve
所以我们讲
this
嘛，生命就
obstacle.
是要不断进化嘛。那你平常没有这个因缘，你觉得自己修得很
So
好，
I often say that
你去了殡仪馆
cultivation is
哇，
all about
那
continuously
真的是哦，那你就会
purifying
你
ourselves
就会
every day.
像我也是一样哦，修一修，哎，好了，解掉了，哦，就比方说啊，这魔力法真的太有用哦，师尊太感恩了，教导我们这个法，能够让我们
So every
哦
time I think
在
every time I encounter something,
用
then
得出来的时
if I
候，就
cultivate,
用得出来。像我个性，像我个人就会
so
觉得，哎，很
it
好，
will solve
师尊教
itself.
我们法真的是有用，
I'll be
那
able
我
to
们再
overcome it. So I'm extremely
来
grateful to our
讲师
grandmasters
归根本上是哦提醒我们，
teachings,
像我
and
们
we're
这种
extremely lucky to have our
哦，
grandmaster
像
as our root guru.
台湾有一句话叫"难道你怕死就不会死吗？"对不对？
So
你
there's
去做一
actually
件
a
你
Taiwanese
既然抵死
saying,
了，那有一天你应该会死
if you're
啊，
afraid of death, does it mean you won't die?
对，
So we
那
still
就
have
要
to
面
face it
对啊，
eventually.
不
So
是
what?
吗？哦，那这只有深浅的问题嘛，对不对？那你就是佛教讲人间就是污秽的哦，所以
So according
不是只有
to
白市场的才会污秽，不是
Buddhism,
嘛？
the
你
human
任何
realm
的言
is
语都是污秽的，
inherently
所以我们
impure.
每天
It's not
啊，
just
每天都要达到清净法，
places such as the funeral parlor
大概就这个意
that
思。
is impure.
下一场，下一个问题。
Yep. So we have to
因为
continuously
时间
purify
的关
ourselves.
系哈，我们今天那个武自在老师为我们释疑解
So
惑的
because
时
of
候就先到这里。
time
我
constraint, we
们
will
还
end
有
today's
其余其他
Q&A
的问
session.
题，我们
So
会
questions that we have not
在
answered,
群组回复大家。
we
我们
will
在解惑的
reply
时
to
候，
these
我们再请武
questions
自
either
在
on
老师
WhatsApp,
为我们
in the
回
WhatsApp
答。
group, or we will
谢
invite
谢大
Teacher
家
Zai
今
again
天
to
共同
help
学
us
习。
clarify
我们下
um
周的课
our
程依
doubts.
然由
So
武
thank
自
you
在老
everyone
师
for being
为您
present
授
to
课。
attend
老师将为我
today's
们解
class.
说第4
And
章第
next
3节
class, in the next class, we are
第
extremely
5
honored
章
to also have
八
Teacher
品
Zai
质莲花
talk about
第
the next
3章
topic, lesson 3,
王者是否
on
是
the
优
traditional
雅。
customs of tomb
您是
sweeping
否和我一样，在
and
下一周的课程
practices
中
such as burning
将
joss
接受
paper,
我
lotus
们准
paper
时上课？
lotuses,
我
as well
们
as
不
cards.
见不
Can the
散
disease
哦。
actually receive
而且
them?
武自
So
在
I'm
老
sure
师
you're
也
looking
将
forward
和
to
大家
next
说再见。
week's lesson, and we will see each other again next week.
好，
Let us Okay, so let us
下一
welcome
位
Teacher Zai again
上
to
师、法
say
师、
goodbye to everyone.
讲师哦，那
So
教授师徒们哦，以及
So
师
all
教人员、大师
masters,
们，感谢
senior
大
reverends,
家
reverends,
哦，
Dharma
让
instructors, Dharma assistants, and all fellow
我们
disciples who are online today.
分享
Thank
信
you
息
everyone
哦，
for
那也
patiently
感
listening
谢
to me.
生活大学能够
Um,
给我这个机会哦，
and thank you, TBS Online
好，
University, for giving me
谢
this
谢大
opportunity.
家，阿弥陀
Thank you
佛。
everyone.
谢谢
Amidaba.
讲师，谢谢大家，谢谢英语翻译员热心
Thank
的
you
指
everyone.
导，
Thank you,
谢谢
masters.
英语翻译
Thank
员
you,
李
today's
长，
interpreter,
谢谢莲
interpreters.
珠上师带领的印尼语翻译团队，
Thank you,
谢
Master
谢
Lian Fei,
莲
who
如
leads
上上
the
师带领的印尼语
Indonesian
翻译团
translation
队，
team.
谢
And
谢
thank you,
武
Senior
自，
Reverend Lian
谢
Roof,
谢
who leads the
我们
for leading the
每一
English
周你们
interpretation
辛苦了，
team.
谢谢
Thank
所
you,
有
all
讲师，
volunteers who are helping
还
out
有
in the
回
background.
线上的莲花童子们。
Thank you for your hard work. And thank you everyone who are on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. And we'll see each other again next week. So you may unmute yourself to say bye.
谢谢大家，祝福，
谢谢吴代老师，拜拜。
拜。
拜。
阿弥陀佛，谢谢大家。
有上。
谢谢吴代老师，谢谢，拜拜。
谢谢大家，再见，下周再见。
下周记得上线哦。